Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A 23-year-old Freeport man is gunned down. Now the search is on for his killer.
Plus, some relief at the gas pump. Experts believe more price drops could be on the way.
Please come out, have your dancing shoes on, and be hungry.
And celebrating Polish culture in Rockford. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
One man is dead in Freeport and police are looking for the killer.
Just before 10 last night, someone brought a man who was shot into FHN Hospital. Officers say 23-year-old DeQuavion Jackson got into an argument with someone he knew on North Greenfield Drive near West Stevenson. That person shot Jackson. Freeport police are currently looking for someone they call a person of interest in connection to the shooting. They say this is an isolated incident and believe there is no threat to the community. Anyone who may have information about the shooting is asked to call police or State Line area Crime Stoppers.
A 19-year-old woman is in the hospital tonight and a man dead after a shooting in Lee County. Deputies were called to East Kellen Drive in Amboy yesterday morning. They found the 19-year-old hurt as well as a 21-year-old man with an apparent gunshot wound. The man was already dead. The woman was taken to OSF St. Anthony in Rockford. Right now, not a lot is known about the shooting. Illinois State Police are helping Lee County with the investigation. A motorcyclist is dead after crashing into a pickup truck in Ogle County. Deputies were called to Route 64 in Mulford Road just before 4 yesterday. They say a 46-year-old Creston woman was driving north on Mulford and didn't stop for the motorcyclist at the intersection at 64. The 60-year-old man from Addison was taken to the hospital where he later died.
There's finally some relief at the pump. For the first time in 9 weeks, you are paying less than the week before. According to Gas Buddy, prices in the Rockford area are down nearly 2 cents. A gallon of regular now averages $5.24. That's still about 30 cents more than we paid a month ago. But there's possibly more good news ahead. Gas Buddy experts predict prices could continue to fall, possibly another 15 to 30 cents before 4th of July. According to local drivers, Costco, Sam's Club, and Woodman's are under $5. A gallon will cost you $5.04 at the Road Ranger on South Main. $5.19 is the cheapest reported price in Belvidere at the Fast Fuel on North State and the Murphy outside Walmart. With the fear of a recession growing, the Biden administration's confident the U.S. can weaken inflation. Basil John reports on what plans are possible to keep the U.S. afloat and what lawmakers think will happen as he keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
There's nothing inevitable about a recession.
While enjoying the long weekend on a beach in Delaware, President Joe Biden said his administration has ideas to boost the economy.
I think we're going to be able to get a change in Medicare. We have a chance here to make a fundamental turn toward renewable energy.
As Americans feel the pressure of higher prices, National Economic Council Director Brian Deese told CBS's Face the Nation one way to accomplish these goals
is to work with Congress to pass legislation that would lower the costs of things that families are facing right now.
In May, annual inflation rose 8.6%. But Deese is confident collaborating with Congress on things like prescription drug prices, semiconductors, and tax reform will bring inflation down.
Try to get a final package in place, and we're hopeful that we'll see progress on that in the coming weeks.
On Fox News Sunday, Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee criticized the president's approach.
We need to focus on regulatory reform as the first order of business.
At an event in Chicago, former Vice President Mike Pence says the country is facing economic turmoil like never before.
Majority of Americans know that President Biden's economic policies have failed utterly and completely, and it is time for a change of direction for America.
Pence says President Biden needs to focus on lowering taxes and producing more American energy. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
There's a new place to donate blood in the state line. The Rock River Valley Blood Center opened its new donor center this morning. It shouldn't be hard to find. It's just across the parking lot from its former location. The RRVBC cut the ribbon on the new building on Longwood Street in Rockford. The Blood Center has owned the building for more than a decade and was using it for storage. But they added nearly 1,400 square feet to create a bigger space. The new location has an easier registration process as well as private donor spaces. The lab and administration offices will stay in the former location on 6th Street.
A local teacher is going to get her master's in education for free. Brenda Estrada earned the 2022 Don Zimmerman Golden Apple Foundation Scholarship. Estrada is a fourth grade dual language teacher at Rockford Elementary in Loves Park. The Zimmerman family created this scholarship a few years ago. Don was one of Golden Apple's local founders. The scholarship pays for master's degree tuition at Rockford University. Estrada starts classes this fall.
From polka to pierogies, Polish Fest is back in Rockford this year. The annual festival went on hiatus during COVID, but it's back on August 14th at St. Stanislaus Church. Guests can chow down on Polish food and beer while watching traditional performances. The Festival Council hopes to entice those who've been before, as well as some new festival goers for their 39th year.
They'll have an opportunity to learn some about the Polish culture, Polish food, Polish music, and we have our cultural center, so we'll have information about the background of the church and background of the Polish community.
Again, the party is on August 14th. Proceeds from the day go back to the church.
Belvidere Summerfield Zoo has a new addition. She is a baby gray wolf pup. Look at that face. Staff members say the aging wolf pack will be happy to have a new young member. You can meet the pup starting this week. She doesn't have a name yet, but you can help with that. This weekend, name suggestions can be submitted in the Summerfield gift shop.
Infants, toddlers, and preschool students can get vaccinated against COVID this week.
The shots designed for children are on the way to pharmacies and pediatricians across the country. Justin Finch tells us more about the rollout.
The long wait for so many families now over. COVID vaccines for children ages 6 months to 5 years old are already available in some areas today.
Nearly 20 million children are now able to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
There are two choices. Pfizer's 3-shot course, each 1/10 of the adult dose, administered over 11 weeks. Moderna offers a 2-shot regimen, each 1/4 of the adult dose, spread 1 month apart. States have begun vaccine orders for the more than 18 million American children now eligible. Though they are less likely to face severe illness, doctors are still encouraging younger children to get vaccinations as soon as possible.
So if you're thinking about getting your child fully protected, maximally protected before the fall, starting sooner rather than later is a good idea.
But there are signs many families are on the fence. A survey taken in April before the CDC recommendation finds roughly 1 in 5 parents saying they were eager to vaccinate their children, and 4 out of 10 parents saying they were reluctant to vaccinate their children right away, opting to wait instead.
We don't feel confident enough at this point to make that decision. We would really like to wait a little while and see what happens.
Parents Otavio and Zena Good enrolled their then 8-month-old and 3-year-old in the Pfizer vaccine trial. They say neither child had issues with the vaccine.
Really peace of mind that you don't need to worry about this really potentially dangerous and potentially fatal disease for your young kids.
Most critically, doctors say the vaccine can help protect children against the most severe COVID outcomes, including hospitalizations and deaths. Families can learn more information on appointments at vaccines.gov. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolfe.
Well, the same high pressure that brought us the beautiful weather over the weekend is now also bringing us this incredible warmth here the next couple of days. That high pressure moved off to our east. That's causing the south wind to work into our area, and that's causing those temperatures to rise well into the 90s across the area. But we still look at some temperatures across the plains pushing close to triple digits. So it's what we could get close to during the day tomorrow, but we still have that high pressure over the area bringing us plenty of sunshine here today. Satellite and radar are very clear. We do have some thunderstorms going up over that ridge in the upper plains right now, but across our area locally, we are still seeing those clear skies here this afternoon. Here's a live look outside our SkyTrack camera overlooking Freeport Golf Course. Notice the flag is actually whipping out of the southwest. We have a pretty strong to moderate wind. That's also aiding in to bring those temperatures up, but is also importantly keeping our heat index values down. Notice the heat index is actually a degree cooler than what our temperature is, at least here in Rockford. That's because dew points were a little bit lower than what they were, especially last week. Dew points currently sitting into the 50s and 60s, officially 58 for the dew point in Rockford. Compare that to the 70s, even mid-70s that we had last week. That was causing our heat index values to be well into the triple digits. Overnight tonight, though, those dew points actually keep our temperatures a little bit more moderated overnight tonight because that humidity value keeps our temperatures a little bit closer to that 70-degree mark compared to the 60s, even 50s and 40s that we had the last couple of nights, despite the clear skies that we are dealing with. Tomorrow, that south wind really gets ramping and our temperatures go all the way up close to triple digits, officially 98 degrees for our afternoon high. With that, though, and all this heat and humidity we are talking about, the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for many of us across the area, with the exception of McHenry and DeKalb counties. Everywhere is under that heat advisory from 12 tomorrow until 7 p.m. tomorrow. That's when we could see those heat advisory and those heat values well into the triple digits, including heat index values well over 100 to 105, even close to 110. This ridge eventually begins to break down. As it breaks down, we do see that cold front come through, and that brings some storm chances as we get later on into the next couple of days. Importantly, we are watching those chances for storms because that line fires up as temperatures are also well into the 90s. So we have plenty of heat and humidity to work their way in, and as long as we have that lift and some other ingredients for the severe weather, we could see that materialize as we get over into the evening tomorrow. That's tomorrow evening after about 6, 7 o'clock through till about 10 o'clock. After that, we do get some more clearing that works back in, but we do still have that moderate or marginal risk for severe weather, a level 1 out of 5 in place for the day tomorrow, so something we'll have to keep an eye on as we get later on into tomorrow evening. Now after this, we actually do get a little bit of a break from the heat. Importantly, early next week, we do have a slight possibility we could see back to at least close to normal or just below normal temperatures, but that doesn't last very long because our longer term outlook that goes 8 to 14 days out does bring us back above average as we get later on into the end of the month and the beginning of July. Temperatures this week are into the 90s, officially close to 100 with that cold front that comes through. It brings our temperatures into the 80s. A couple more chances for rain later on into the week, but we are into the low 80s, even closer to average as we get later on into next weekend.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The Cubs have hit the road for a 7-game road trip. Starts tonight in Pittsburgh. It'll wrap up this weekend in St. Louis. Caleb Killian gets the start tonight for the Cubs. He's made 2 appearances on the mound so far this season. He is 0-1 with an ERA of 8. The Pirates will go with JT Brubaker as their starting pitcher. He's 0-7. Cubs are 4-5 against the Pirates this season, and they trailed the Pirates by a game and a half for third place in the NL Central Division. 6:05 is the start time tonight. The White Sox open up a series at home against the tough Toronto Blue Jays. The Jays swept a 3-game series from the White Sox at the start of this month. Lance Lynn will make his second start for the White Sox. Jose Barrios will start for the Blue Jays. That game will start at 7:10. There will be action on the ice tonight. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Lightning and the Avalanche. The Lightning are in an 0-2 hole, but keep in mind, though, they were in the same position in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Rangers, and they rebounded to win 4 straight games in the series. But the Avalanche are a stronger team than the Rangers were.
We've been in these spots before. Now you got to draw on some of your experience, but not use that as a crutch saying just because we've had that experience, we're going to win.
We're not in a do or die situation right now, but, let's just go out there and find our best game right now. And they haven't seen our best. And so, we're excited. Hopefully we can show them our best tonight.
Once again, you can see tonight's game right here on WTVO starting at 7. Our girls' state bowling champions will continue to be crowned here in Rockford. The IHSA has decided to continue holding the state tournament at the Cherry Bowl for 5 more years through 2027. The Cherry Bowl and the Rockford Area Convention and Visitors Bureau submitted a proposal in May to continue the partnership with the IHSA. The girls' state bowling tournament has been held at the Cherry Bowl since 1993. At the most recent tournament in February, Lockport won the team championship. Harlan finished second and Hononegah was 4th. A former Rochelle Hub has turned into one of the key pitchers for the Rockford Rivets this season. He's Kyle Seabach. Seabach just finished up his eligibility with NIU. Coming up at 6, I'll show you what he's done for the Rivets so far, and we'll learn about Seabach's hopes to be selected in the MLB draft.
Jordan, we'll have a final look at weather in just a moment.
First, here's what News Nation has planned for later.
Another nightmare weekend for travelers. Why government intervention might make things worse. Plus, is President Biden in denial over rising prices and the effects on your family? That's On Balance. Here's Dan.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. Juneteenth now being marketed by major corporations as a holiday to celebrate with sales and specials, just like Memorial Day or Veterans Day. And of course, now we have some foolish companies who've gone too far. How about just respecting these days without the corporate nonsense? That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's all coming up on News Nation. You can watch it on the cable and satellite stations in this list or head to newsnation.com.
We definitely have a toasty day out there, and it's going to really feel more muggy tomorrow, right?
It's going to get even worse tomorrow. It won't quite be as bad as what we had last week, I don't think, because temperatures will only top out right around the upper 90s. Dew points, more importantly, into the low 70s compared to the mid 70s that we had last week. But those sunny conditions today definitely helping to bring our temperatures up. The sunny conditions and very clear conditions showing up on the First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford Auto Glass and more. Very clear skies through the rest of this evening, and heat index values into close to triple digits here, at least this afternoon. We might see those temperatures drop down just a little bit tomorrow, or at least our dew point values during the overnight tonight. But temperatures tomorrow close to triple digits. Heat advisory is in place for most of us across the state line, except for McHenry and DeKalb counties. That's until 7 p.m. tomorrow, starting at noon. 7-day forecast does look very warm, but luckily we get a little bit of a break after this cold front comes through tomorrow evening. Could bring us some storm chances. Something we'll keep an eye on, though. Temperatures remain a little bit moderated as we head into next weekend.
All right. Thanks, Jordan.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.